What's up, everybody? You got Tone here, bringing you NPL Miners Season 4, Week number 4. This week, we are up against Andrew, aka Muse the Best, and his Portland Trail Blazikens. Now, if you guys missed last week, I encourage you to check out that battle if you haven't already. There's a playlist for every match in the NPL Miners. We came off of a tough 1-0 loss to Jarboss and the Chicago Kirin Blackhawks. In a match that really probably I should have lost by a bigger differential, but nonetheless, we are currently 1-2 with a -1 differential, and currently we are 5th place in our conference. So it's not the end of the world. We still got a few more weeks left to go before the playoffs start. And if you guys missed my last video, you should know that I did make a transaction. Scrafty is no longer on the team. Scrafty has been dropped, and we picked up Absol and Zangoose. So we have a full team of 11 Pokemon raring to go for this point on. So with that being said, I'm just going to run down my opponent's team, which you see on your screen to the right. His team as a whole is kind of clunky and a little bit unorthodox because he has a lot of threats, but nothing to the point where anything really comes together as a team in terms of team synergy. And of course, he does have the God Pineco all the way at the bottom. But nonetheless, despite how his team looks, his team is still threatening, especially the first 4 Pokemon on his draft. The main Pokemon I am very, very worried about in this matchup is Mega Pinsir because, as you guys know, my flying resist doesn't really exist. I have stuff that can take returns from Mega Pinsir, but at the same time, nothing that absolutely resists it. And the combination of Aerialate Return plus Earthquake and then Quick Attack plus SD can absolutely destroy my entire team. The other thing that also scares me in this matchup is the Tapu Fini, because Tapu Fini has the ability to shut down my defensive core of Clefable, Vaporeon, and Mega Venusaur with the combination of Taunt and Nature's Madness to prevent me from healing and whittle me down very, very fast. So there's that. There's also Latias. Latias can be a problem if I let it set up like Calm Minds or whatnot. So that can be a pain. Zygarde 10% is threatening, especially considering 1,000 Arrows is very spammable against my team because I don't really have a good ground resist. Again, I have bulky mons that can take 1,000 Arrows, but nothing that outright resists 1,000 Arrows, so that can be problematic. Sovali can be any type. I don't really know what type it'll be, but if he brings it, then I'm expecting a lot of parting shot shenanigans. Superior, I don't really expect because I have multiple things that can shut it down. I have Scolipede, which can check it offensively. Mega Venusaur shuts it down defensively. Unaware Clef shuts it down defensively. So, not really expecting that. Entei to an Assault Vest Entei can also be a very, very good response to Superior as well, so I'm not really expecting it. Ditto can be problematic if I let it copy any stat boost I do, so I'd be very, very cautious of when I decide to try to go for the kill. Magnezone, a little bit threatening, but at the same time not too much to the point where I'm overall weak to it. I do have responses to Magnezone. And then the last 3 Pokemon he has on his team, the Wobbuffet Linoon core. Wobbuffet can be a nuisance just because it can trap any of my defensive Pokemon, and I have to be very, very cautious of trying to let that thing get the better of me. Of course, there's Wobbuffet can be worn down, but at the same time, I'm going to have to sacrifice a Pokemon to do so. And Linoon can be exceptionally painful because I don't really have a normal resist. I have no Ghost type on my team, so unless I have a Belly Drum, it could just very well be GG for Linoon. And then there's the Mean Pick Pineco, which I don't really see much of as a threat. But the problem you also notice with his team is his only way of getting up hazards is between that Pineco and Mega Pinsir with Stealth Rock. There's also the possibility of him copying either my Clefable or my Excadrill, getting up Stealth Rocks. Mostly my Clefable, but that's about it. So in terms of the 6 Pokemon I'm expecting him to bring, I predict him to bring, The first 4 is a given, and then I'm expecting either Sovali or the Ditto. Ditto just so he doesn't get 6-0 by like any setup sweepers I have on my team. But I'm really expecting the first 4, Sovali and Ditto. I don't know what type of Sovali, but I should be able to prepare for any sort of team he decides to bring, any combination of 6, because Andrew has the potential to bring anything possibly and make it work. That's basically how unorthodox and unpredictable his team can be. But nonetheless, moving right along to the team that I brought for week 4. And for the first time all season, we have Mega Venusaur finally getting off the bench, making its debut for the Maine Red Clawitzers here. We have a very standard set here of Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Fire, and Synthesis. Very straightforward. My defensive check to stuff like Zygarde 10%, Tapu Fini, Superior, Magnezone, those sorts of stuff. EV spread, max HP, 48 EVs in defense allows me to avoid being 2-hit KO'd by a choice banded Zygarde 10%, 1000 arrows. 44 speed lets me outrun uninvested Tapu Fini, and the rest is put into special defense to take hits from the likes of Magnezone a little bit better. So this is my main switch in the Tapu Fini to Superior, all the like. There was one set I was very, very cautious of and very, very scared of, as I mentioned before. A set like Taunt, Nature's Madness, Whirlpool, Defog, Tapu Fini is was a set I really kept going on in the back of my mind about, because it shut down my defensive core, it whittled me down between Nature's Madness and Whirlpool, and then Defog to get rid of hazards for his Mega Pincers, because it takes 50% for every time it switches in front to Stealth Rock. So I figured that type of set would come against me, so I had to be very, very cautious of that. The key is just going to be trying to keep my Mega Venusaur as healthy as possible, because of course Nature's Madness takes away half your HP every time it's used. So that's Mega Venusaur. Next up, we have Unaware Clefable here, Stealth Rock, Moonlight, Moonblast, Fire Blast, max HP, max defense. This is my main switch in to the likes of Zygarde 10%. This is basically my way of shutting down all of his setup sweepers between SD Mega Pinsir, Calm Mind Tapu Fini, Belly Drum Linoon, Contrary Leaf Storm, Superior as a backup response if my Mega Venusaur gets too weakened. So Clefable's main job is to get up Stealth Rocks and pressure stuff with Moonblast and Fire Blast. It has a good combination of moves against his entire team. The only thing I really can't touch this particular moveset is on the off chance he brings like a Sovali Fire, but that I don't really expect because it means another Pokemon weak to Stealth Rock, so I'm not really expecting Sovali Fire in the slightest. So Clefable's main job is to get up rocks and pressure some stuff out with Moonblast. Fire Blast is mainly for the Magnezone. So, moving right along to the newest addition to the team, we have Pandora, our Choice Scarf Absol with Knockoff Pursuit, Superpower, and Ice Beam. When I looked at the matchup, I saw that Absol would look like it would be putting in a ton of work against his team, albeit this set does not do much to the Tapu Fini. Its main response is to offensively check the Latias. It checks the stuff like Wobbuffet. I can knock off its item. But the main thing it's going to be doing is trying to catch the Zygarde off guard as I am running Ice Beam. And Superpower is just there for the likes of the Magnezone and the Linoon. As for the EV spread, we are running nearly max attack, 236. 52 EVs in special attack allows my Absol to one-hit KO a 0 bulk invested Zygarde 10% with Ice Beam from full. It does 100% minimum if he's 0 bulk invested, and even if he's running a little bit of bulk, it's still a roll in my favor, especially if I get rocks. And we're running enough speed on my Absol to outrun a timid max speed Magnezone, so even if he Scarf Magnezone, my Absol will outspeed it and I smack it hard with a superpower. So Absol can potentially be putting in a ton of work against his team. Even though he has a Tapu Fini in the back, I still have Mega Venusaur and Clefable to check it decently. As long as with my next Pokemon here, we have Xurkitree. Pretty much the same set I've been running the entire season so far. This between Assault Vest and Sugar Berry. I decided for Assault Vest just because I have Mega Venusaur and Clefable that can deal with Zygarde 10%. I don't need to run Sugar Berry and try to surprise it. It's basically going to be a mind game for him to decide whether or not I have Sugar Berry and then revenge killing him with a Dazzling Gleam. Thunderbolt and Volt Switch just for general stab coverage. HP Ground is here for the Magnezone. And it's also here on the off chance his Ditto comes in and postures my Xurkitree, and I can just smack with an HP Ground too. We're running enough speed to outrun a timid max speed Magnezone like the Absol. 96 in special attack with a modest nature makes my special attack 1 point higher than timid max special attack Xurkitree, and max HP for that added bulk. So this is basically my response to Xurkitree. It also checks Tapu Fini, as I can take a Moonblast, Surf, whatever the case may be from Tapu Fini. So yeah, that is my Xurkitree set. Now to Pokemon number 5, we have our Scolipede here. Pretty much nearly the same set we've run the last couple of weeks. Protect, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, and Rock Slide. Now before I had Cobra Berry, I had Bugium Z, Spabit Spin Out to nuke any defensive variant of Latias, but because Mega Pinsir was such a nuisance for my team, I had to switch it out for Cobra Berry because after running some calcs, a quick attack from Mega Pinsir can one-hit KO my Scolipede after Stealth Rocks, which was a pain in the behind, because Scolipede can actually put in a lot of work, albeit I'm running Rock Slide over Earthquake, so I can knock out Mega Pinsir from full. Poison Jab for the Tapu Fini, Mega Horn for the Latias and the like. This can't do much to Magnezone, but I have a Xurkitree, I have a Scarf Absol with Superpower, Fire Blast on my Clefable, and Clefable can eat up one Flash Cannon from Magnezone, barring it's not a Specs variant, but my primary switch into Magnezone would be the Xurkitree. And the EVs are pretty straightforward. Max attack, enough speed for max speed, timid max speed Latias, and the rest is just put it maxed out between its defenses, nothing special. And last but not least, our team, we have Delta, the Calm Mind Latios, pretty much the exact same set I brought from week 2. The only difference is I'm running max speed, max special attack. I want to speed tie with the Latias at least and try to hit it hard with an Ice Beam. I can Calm Mind up against most of his team pretty freely, and with the exception of stuff like Tapu Fini and stuff like that. I can Calm Mind up on Superior, try to wear that thing down 1v1. I outspeed Mega Pinsir, force it to quick attack me. I also force the Zygarde to go for Outrage, because Thousand Arrows does not kill me if I keep myself at relative high HP. This set can't do much to Magnezone, but Magnezone can be used as setup fodder regardless. I don't really see how I can set up a Magnezone pretty freely is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is going to be it for the team, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we're just going to switch over to the battle here and see how things go. And as you see by the team, yeah, I was literally thrown off by this team. I see no Tapu Fini, no Zygarde 10%, and more importantly, no Mega Pinsir. I was literally about to ask him if he brought the wrong team, but he made this team, so he probably had some idea of what he wanted to do with it, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about it. The fact that there's no Mega Pinsir is huge for a lot of my team, and actually my entire team for the matter of fact. He opted to go with the Ditto, Linoon, and the Magnezone, the Wobbuffet, and the Linoon over the Finny, Zygarde, Mega Pinsir combination. So, so looking at his team, I had to figure that first and foremost, I see no Zygarde, which means I can freely Volt Switch around his team. The main thing I was also scared about was like a level 5 Pineco, which he brought week 1. And I was like, okay, if I see level 5 Pineco, I am going to lead off with my Absol, and I'm clicking knockoff 100%. But that's not the case. He didn't bring either of his hazard setters, so I think the only way of getting a hazard on my end of this, on my side of the field, is if his Ditto imposters my Clefable and locks himself into Stealth Rock, which is not the ideal situation here. In terms of a lead matchup for me, I felt as though my best lead would be Xurkitree, because whatever the situation may be, I can just Volt Switch right on out into anything I choose. And even better, if he leads out with Ditto trying to scout my set, I can go for an HP ground right away. So, that being said, I'm just going to start the battle here. So, I don't lead up with Livewire the Xurkitree. He does lead up with that Ditto, and it's going to copy it by Xurkitree. I'm going to click HP ground here no matter what, and he's going to reveal he's HP ground too, but I am Assault Vest. I go for my own HP ground, and that's 84% to Xurkitree. Now, first off, props on his end for IVing his Ditto to have HP ground IVs to counteract my Xurkitree, so props to him on that. But because he let his Ditto get so weakened, it makes it a lot easier for my Calm Mind Latias to potentially sweep late game. All I need to do is just get rid of the Magnezone and the Linoon to prevent it from setting up a Belly Drum. So, I have a free Volt Switch because I know Volt Switch kills from that range. It goes hard into Latias here, trying to take the HP ground. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. I'm going to Volt Switch right on out into my Absol here. I'm going to click knockoff 100%. Go for the knockoff. We almost take it out. Reveals he was Tanga Berry, and then he decides to go for Roost, expecting me to like Swords Dance or Pursuit Trap him. Which is a good play, a good read, but I went for knockoff. I knockoff again. Down goes the Latias. In comes Wobbuffet. I'm gonna click knockoff because I'm trapped, and I get the unfortunate crit. Now I don't really know if that crit mattered or not, because if you guys saw my team builder, you'll see that my Absol was not justified. It was Super Luck. And you'll see his Wobbuffet was also Tanga Berry, so he prepped hard for my Scolipede. Which I don't blame him, because his team was a little bit weak to Scolipede, like a lot of teams are, so I'm not really surprised about that. So whether or not that crit mattered, I do not know. But the fact that I did get the crit sucks for him, because for one, he can't trap any of my defensive mons anymore and weaken them, or I get rid of them altogether. And the second thing is, with Wobbuffet gone, I am 100% free to start setting up Calm Minds with my Latios. All I need to do is to get some chip damage on the Magnezone, and I will be set. So Wobbuffet's going to go down. Absol picks up 2 kills. Back in comes the Ditto in disguise as my Absol. And here he has a tough play here, because and the reason why he has a tough play here is because he now sees my set Knockoff, Pursuit, Superpower, and Ice Beam. If he locks himself into Knockoff, I get a free switch into the Venusaur, and essentially I get a free HP Fire because the Latias is gone. If he goes Magnezone predicting my Giga Drain on my Sludge Bomb, it gets hit. It takes a good chunk. If he goes Pursuit, it's also the same thing. If he locks himself into Superpower, it takes out my Absol, I get a free switch into my Clefable or my Scolipede, and I can just go in. And if he locks himself into Ice Beam, pretty much the same thing. I can go into my Mega Venusaur, Mega Evolve. I don't take much damage because I'm thick fat, so you get the idea. So I'm clicking knockoff just to get rid of this thing. He's gonna go for a knockoff my choice card, which is totally fine by me. I'm gonna go for a knockoff, take out the Ditto here, and Absol picking up 3 kills in this match. In comes the Linoon here. I know I'm clicking E-Speed. I'm gonna go hard into my Clefable here on the predicted E-Speed. and that does 23%. Now I decided I contemplated getting up rocks here, but I wanted to break the Magnet Zone coming in. I go for Fire Blast. I think it reveals that Silvally is Silvally Ghost. So, so again, it was pretty much he was prepping for Scolipede because Ghost does resist both Bug and Poison. And then he reveals the Toxic, which does suck. There was no way for me to potentially scout for it. I could have gone into my Venusaur, but I didn't really think he would go for Toxic. I was thinking he would go for a Parting Shot. So now I go hard to my Venusaur here to go for the multi-attack. Does 28%. I'm going to Mega Evolve here. I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb here for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to get the poison off, get the chip damage I needed to weaken this thing. The second reason was in case he decides to go hard like Noon for some reason. But he goes for Thunder Wave, paralyzes my Mega Venusaur. I get full parried here, and I'm thinking I need to get my Mega Venusaur back to full. In comes the Magnet Zone here, and he reveals he's Air Balloon, and I get fully paralyzed again, which sucks. So, and now he reveals Metal Sound, so now I'm like, oh, okay, so I couldn't even set up with my Latios even if I wanted to. So I go for the Hidden Power Fire here, do 33%, pop the Air Balloon, and I'm going to go hard Circuitry here on the Magnet Rise. I'm like, oh crap, so now I can't even collect HP Ground. I have to collect T-Bolt here, but fortunately for me, 2 Thunderbolts are going to take out this Magnet Zone as he goes go for a Thunderbolt of its own. But because I'm a Assault Vest, that does do nothing. So now for another Thunderbolt, I know 2 Thunderbolts will take out the Magnet Zone, and lo and behold, it does. So we are now up 6-2. All he has left is a Silvally Ghost and a Linoon. I get the Beast Boost. In comes the Linoon here, and here all I was going to do, I was contemplating either going on to Clefable here or sacking off my my Circuitry and get a hard switch into my Scolipede or my Absol, but I decided to let my Circuitry go down. Man, I'm getting my own mons confused. I'm deciding to let my Circuitry go down here to the extreme speed, even though I had Clefable, but Clefable was starting to get weakened. I didn't want it to take damage, so I stay in, sack off the Circuitry to the E speed. As you're gonna see, he goes for E speed. We live on 3%, and Circuitry's gonna take out the Linoon with a +1 Thunderbolt. So now we are up 6-1. All he has left is a Silvally Ghost. Now I contemplated staying in with my Circuitry, but I figured he was max speed. I don't outspeed Silvally. I'm gonna go hard into my Clefable. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Going for the multi-attack. Does 22%, and now I'm just gonna try to fire off 2 Moonblasts here to seal the game. I could have went for Moonlight, but because I'm unaware that toxic damage is racking up, so I need to try to take this thing out as soon as possible. Go for the Moonblast. Lives on 2%. I know I gotta take 1 more multi-attack before, unless I get crit. Go for the multi-attack again on the Silvally Ghost. Clefable living on with 20%. We fire off a Moonblast. Down goes Silvally Ghost, and for the first time in Draft League format, we, the Maine Red Clawitzers, have picked up a 6-0 win. I have absolutely no idea how it happened. I'm not really complaining about the events that led to the 6-0. I was just trying to play. I was trying to just do my thing. I was just trying to make my plays and all that sort of stuff. Andrew really surprised me with the team he brought. I really thought Mega Pinsir was going to be putting in work against me. Tapu Fini 2, Zygarde 10%, all that, but he didn't bring any of that. Threw me off, and then he just came out. He brought some very interesting stuff like Metal Sound, Magnet Rise, Magnet Zone with Dual Stab, I would assume. The crit on the Wobbuffet did suck. I don't know how much it mattered. It would have weakened. If he would have trapped my Clefable, it actually would have mattered a lot more, as opposed if he trapped my Absol, because if I lost my Clefable, I would have been very, very weak to Linoon after a Belly Drum. So it really just came down to keeping the pressure on with my moves. Noticing that I didn't need rocks that much. It wasn't important because he didn't bring Mega Pincer, and all that stuff. And Absol just coming in, putting in the finest work, picking up 3 kills in its debut for the Maine Red Clawitzers. I am happy. I am ecstatic. This is like I said, this is my very first time I've ever gotten a 6-0 in Draft League format. Really don't know what to say. The feeling is mutual, because it kind of feels weird when you 6-0 somebody and you know that they didn't bring that they could have brought a better team, but at the same time you're not complaining. I don't want to make it seem as though that, oh, he brought if he brought Finnies or Mega Pincer, it wouldn't have been a 6-0 and all that stuff. I don't know. It's Pokemon. Anything is possible. I'm not really gonna complain about my win. I just tried to play my game, my style, execute the game plan, which did end up working a lot better than I thought. I never expected Absol to put in so much work. I just wanted to check some certain stuff like the Latias, and it went above and beyond my expectations. So, great pickup in Absol for me. I'm really happy that it put in work. So we are now 2-2. We end our 2-game losing streak. We are now 2-2. Going from a -1 differential all the way up to a +5 differential. Really happy about that. Way to get out of that little funk we had. Not saying that we lost terribly, but we had some close losses so far. I just want to right the ship, and we righted the ship indeed. If you guys did enjoy this battle, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Also, feel free to check out my opponent. His link will be in the description down below, as well as all the other coaches in the NPL majors and minors, as well as the analysts who do a fantastic job with the power rankings going up on the NPL channel itself. I encourage you guys to check that out if you haven't done so already. And feel free to keep cheering on your Maine Red Clawitzers. Feel free to swing by the NPL fan server and become a Red Clawitzer fan yourself and support the Cannon Army. We're now firing on all cylinders, picking up this 6-0 win. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to get the heck out of here. Have yourself a nice day. And until the next time, guys, my name is Anthony, a.k.a. Tone. And I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later.